Ites Solo Ruang Sci-Fi Podcast.
Hello, this is episode 137, I think, of the Solo Ruang Sci-Fi Podcast. I'm Michael Ball. I'm joined once again by the demigod of knowledge, science fiction info, gossip, talk, anything you can know about science fiction, this man will tell me about it before I even ask about it. That is Mr. Martin Fowler. Hello, Martin.
Thank you very much, and hello. I do like the virtual background.
Isn't it a great green screen, isn't it? I know, it's really cool, yeah. It's so good that it actually makes the actual room cold as well. It's an amazing green screen. Yeah. Right. It's like it's... no, I'm outside today for the first time, so... but when I said that, I thought, it's a bit cold today, but I just thought, stuff it, let's just do it anyway. So hopefully we'll do a few more outside ones in the summer, if it ever arrives. But it's sunny, the sunshine is out for the first time in 6 months, and it's really good. So, yeah. So are you all set up for Easter? You do anything nice over Easter?
Yeah. I'm out tomorrow. I'm going to the rooftop garden tomorrow. It's,
very nice.
It's a sky view on an office block at overlooks London. Going there tomorrow.
Okay.
Friday, I'm going on a pub crawl on Friday, and
is this where are you gonna go on YouTube and demand shots for every time? That could be funny. Or do a live stream on your channel. That might be really funny. Actually.
Sci-fi down the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing Sunday. I think I'm out Monday, but it's sort of 2 days in, 2 days out, which I'm quite happy about.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say for $10.99, you can buy yourself one of our key rings.
Lovely key rings, yes, exactly.
And if you pay Michael £5, he will open a door and take a drink.
Here, look, virtual, here we are. It's only coffee, though. It's only coffee.
I had to get that one in before you did, so there you go. So what we're talking about this week, actually, it was today we were going to do this because we did.
I thought it was Wednesday. Sorry,
No,
that's fine.
Tuesday, and it was your idea to do it today.
I couldn't remember because obviously the kids are off this week and I only work term time, so I'm a bit up in the air. But that's fine. It worked out better. For some reason, I had it in my head it was Wednesday, but it's today. You all right? What's going on now? He's setting up his professional system over there. Look at that. And for those of you who are listening on audio, Martin is just playing with his mic.
I've been playing with my microphone.
Okay, I could tell her that. Yeah.
And I pulled one of the connections out accidentally.
Oh no! Well, you're back in Nikon digital stereo, or whatever you want to call it these days.
Yeah, I'd say it's a lot clearer actually this week.
That's weird, isn't it? It fluctuates. Sometimes the stream qualities muck about stuff. So we're talking about Capricorn 1 this week, which technically is not a science fiction film.
It is and it isn't. It's a
thriller. It's a conspiracy thriller.
But they do go to Mars. It's sort of science fiction until we get to Mars.
I'm adding it anyway. We're going to review it because it's a bloody good film. And I've seen it quite a few times.
And I'd just like to say for $10.99, buy one of our key rings off the website. So, for an extra £5, you can watch Michael stick a key in the door, take a drink, and for another £5, me and Michael will sign a key ring personally.
And don't forget the £25 mugs of the Mandalorian on the side on as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, God, I'm sorry about that.
What about the T-shirt? Only £50.
50.
Yeah.
Well, cost of living, I suppose.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything rises.
Yeah. God. And for £5, you can watch me and Michael take a drink. Thank you, Trek fan. I did read your comment.
Thank you, Trek fan. He was funny. He thought it was really funny what we were talking about last week. So thanks.
He knew, didn't he?
Yeah. He knows. I know. It was good.
He knew. I thought when I read it, he knows.
Well, you never know. When we do the review of Picard in about 3 weeks' time, I hope we're going to have about Jay from Side Trek, hopefully Trek fan. It could be a funny one. Could be a good.
Why don't we do a live stream for that on StreamYard?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm sure Jay wouldn't mind, as long as you can save it and then send it to me, and then I can upload it.
I think so. I've been ages since.
I could actually rip it off yours, and then I could then edit it and put logos.
I could send it. I don't know if you can save it.
You can.
I know it uploads it up to.
No, you can rip it off. You can rip it off YouTube. Yeah, rip it off YouTube, the same as where, you know, in principle, and then it'll save me all the editing, and then I can sort of like put it on my channel and just slightly do like a logo and stuff. But
I found out today Quantum Leap's finished.
I saw that. I saw about the first 8 episodes, and then I just got out of the habit of watching it.
I think I got to episode 10, and then I thought it was just 10 episodes.
No, and apparently it's carried on. But we started watching it.
Yeah,
and then we moved house. No, and then I mean because obviously we like Quantum Leap. But no, we need to actually what we'll do maybe soon. If I try and watch the rest of the season, then we can review it. Season 1.
Well, it would be nice if the episodes appeared by magic. Do you know what I mean?
You mean Paul Daniels again shows up again, and he magically makes things appear again.
And for $10.99 you can buy a keyring from our website, and for £5 you can watch Michael turn the key.
You're making me choke on my coffee. Stop it.
And for an extra £5 you can watch us both have a drink.
Oh, there's a slight deja vu feeling from last week's show. On that note, shall we go to the Solomon Sci-Fi News? Because we've got quite a lot to talk through. Here we go.
I read the article this morning.
Okay, hang on. Let's go to the jingle and we'll go to it from there. All right.
Working. Solar Sci-Fi News.
All right, so so obviously we've had Picard episode 6, I think it is. Or was it 7?
No, 7.
No, it's episode 7. And we said the Mandalorian episode 5, and I want to talk about both of those. But I got some Doctor Who news this morning. I'll get my iPad out and read it again.
Be careful now.
No. Just making an observation. All right, so
they'll
just
be
saying.
Outside your house, burning everything.
We're just saying. Okay, and I'm choosing my words very, very carefully. Right. Okay, I don't know who this person is. Okay, Jinx Monsoon joins Doctor Who. The award-winning actress, singer, Jinx Monsoon is to be cast as Doctor Who. Now, obviously this person's a drag act. I don't know who they are. But I just... Do you remember how I did that intro about 6 months ago about how I was dubious about Doctor Who coming back when there's all this stuff going on? And it's just... I will try it, but I'm just getting a lot of red alerts saying this is going to be terrible. I mean, I really think this might be the final nail in the coffin for the Doctor Who and BBC in general, quite frankly, the way it's going. It just looks awful. Nothing about it looks right to me at all. I think the David Tennant thing would be good, but after all this tick-boxing stuff that they're doing, it's just like, come on. Do you need all this? Can't we just have like a normal show and actually have characters who are there because they're characters, not for ticking boxes? Come on, I have to ask you, Mike. I know we've talked about it before. What do you think?
I don't want them outside my house burning building down.
So you're going to just say, okay, it is what it is?
No, I have an opinion.
But are you going to, as you say?
How long have we been doing this for now?
3.5 years. 3.5 years.
Right then. Well, it's been nice knowing you in your career as a podcaster, Michael Paul.
See you, mate.
And for $10.99 on our website, you can buy a keyring. For £5, you can get one signed by me and Michael.
And actually, I've reduced the actual...
Michael, open the door.
And the mugs, I've reduced them now. It's only now $49.99.
Oh, God, you've knocked a penny. I found
Yeah, I have, exactly, yeah.
Right, my opinion, I did some research into the so-called actress.
I've never heard of them before.
I assume they're American.
I don't know what their nationality is. I assume they're... I don't know.
I know who RuPaul is.
Hmm.
I know who RuPaul is.
I don't know. Don't know that either.
She's famous. I think she's a famous drag artist in America.
Right.
She had one of them reality shows, and I think I've never seen it, but I know who she is because she released a song with Elton John. I remember that.
Oh, okay.
So the so-called drag artist that's doing this, I don't have a problem with. That no, hang on. I am not being all woke. I am not being all lefty.
That's fine.
I don't know. You could shoot me down in a minute, right? You could shoot me down. I can already feel the fucking lasers at back in the air, right? Like a predator.
Yes.
Right. I don't have a problem. The problem is how they're going to approach it. And what worries me, right, the Doctor Who turns up on Earth, he meets a drag artist in the bar, they get involved in something, fair enough. That I don't have a problem with. My problem with this is I don't want them to start being fucking preachy. That's what I don't. I don't want it shoved in my face.
But doesn't this direction indicate it will be very preachy? The way it's coming across, I mean, it strikes me that it will be particularly preachy in respect.
I think you're right.
And that's what I'm worried about.
To be honest, I think you're going to be right.
That's why I wanted to run it by you, basically.
Why I'm saying this? Because years ago, my parents used to go down to a pub on a Sunday night to watch a drag act.
Right.
On a Sunday night, a bit of fun, a lovely person packed out a pub on a Sunday night. I went with friends over the years. Never had a problem with it. It was good fun, great entertainment. Went home. Where we are, we're not at that anymore. We've gone beyond into, and I know there's a culture war going on. I try to avoid it as much as possible because I think there's more important matters than this.
Yeah, I agree entirely.
But there's going to be a percentage of people that are going to make a big thing about this. And what I'm trying to say is, I don't have a problem with the drag artist being in Doctor. What I have a problem with is that they're not learning from the past mistakes. Like the last series with Jodie Whittaker, they put so much in there that the front room tables got booted up in air. People just want to sit down and watch a clever episode of science fiction.
Yeah, absolutely. This is exactly why I'm bringing it up.
Stereotypes and political, because this is bringing the culture wars into Doctor Who now.
Absolutely.
And that's where I've got an issue.
That's why I wanted to run it by you, and this is all I wanted to say about it.
And I'm trying to be as not neutral, but I'm trying to be as fair as possible. And I think if it's a drag artist who gets involved in some scenario with the Doctor and helps them stop something malevolent, I don't have a problem with that. But what I don't want is this being shoved in my face. That's what I don't want.
That's what I'm worried about. This is why I just saw this morning and I just thought, got to talk to Martin about this, get his opinion. So, like I said, it might be that it's done very well. It might be very entertaining. It might be just a clever twist on the Doctor Who philosophy of the show. But then again, it might be a very, very tick box. People are very happy, very accepting. I don't want that. Again, it's political, and I don't want that.
You say Discovery did it, didn't they? They shoved it all in your fucking face every week.
That is why it put off a lot of people.
I watched a couple of episodes of TNG, Measure of a Man and Conspiracy, and the people they met from the 20th century.
Yeah.
And where them, and it was interesting. You got the greedy capitalistic businessman.
Stereotypical.
And basically, when you get back to Earth, mate, you're skint because we left all that shit behind.
Yeah, it's all in the past. Absolutely.
You're a dinosaur, mate. Don't matter.
Whole different world.
Yeah. And they work with that sort of thing wonderfully.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like how the Ferengi, they're portrayed as humans. A lot of people don't like that, but they are the humans.
Of course they are. Yeah.
Not the outright moral Starfleet people. That's what we could become. That's the bar to set. But at the moment, we are very Ferengi. And I think Doctor Who has got to go back into a thing that, right, if you want to bring out things about certain stereotypes and bring it in, do it in a way where it goes with the story and have a moral thing where people are going to walk away from it and think that was
a very intelligent story. It made me think.
Not shoving it in your face like when the Doctor with the two fellas that kissed each other. I didn't have a problem, but she said, "Oh, it's lovely when they all kiss each other." The lesbian thing they were going to do with the Doctor, that I noticed that all got dropped.
Yeah, that was brought up, but it wasn't actually.
Line,
it didn't. I actually didn't mind the level that they went with that storyline was fine. It was fine. It was obviously she had feelings for the Doctor, and it was acknowledged, and that was it. It wasn't actually, and I actually was fine with that. I didn't have a problem with that.
I'm not, but look, if she'd have ran off in TARDIS and had a relationship with her, I wouldn't have been bothered. Be interesting to see the Doctor have a relationship like that with somebody, but it's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work. You've had this person, this alien, for 50 years. It's had more stunning women in that TARDIS and whatever.
60 years. 60 years.
60 years. There's never been any inclination. And the nearest we got with Tennant, wasn't it? Him and
Rose.
Rose. That because she brought him back from the dark place, didn't she?
This was Russell T Davies, of course, and of course he's back now, which suggests that he might do a repetition of what he did before. That's what I'm wondering.
Well, it's interesting because, like, I did read the article, and I'm sat on the fence at the moment before people, because I don't want to make a judgment till I've seen it fully.
Sure.
But I don't think they're learning that's why the last 3 seasons went down the toilet because of all this, you know. And I try to avoid people are people to me.
Sure.
You know, if people are going to go do what they're going to do,
it's their business. It's their business.
It's their business. Just don't put it on me, right? Because I've got my own problems and life to do, like you know. But what I'm finding, I just think, well, Russell T Davies did do the best Doctor Who out of all of them. He did.
Very high standard, yeah.
A very high standard.
But that was 20 years ago, though, and the world was a different place 20 years ago.
Yeah, well,
that's what I'm worried about.
I'm hoping he can keep that high standard.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting an indication it's going to go right the other way. It's going to be really in your face with all this. I might be wrong, but that's the vibe I'm getting. And that's why I'm a bit worried about it, quite frankly. And
if it becomes like that, if it comes worse than the last series, what are you going to do? You're going to walk away.
How can I? I've watched it my whole life.
Well,
I'll have to see it and just have to have it as part of the chronological story of this character.
You see, a lot of the younger generations, they're not going to be fazed by any of this.
Yeah, I know, but
this
that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
We have to be careful.
This is because we're older, because our philosophies are becoming. There's becoming a stronger discontinuity between our philosophies and the younger people's philosophies.
Yeah, and it's
that is partly
massive
why it's
divide.
going on.
It's a massive divide. Yeah,
it is.
I mean, I try to be as progressive and open-minded as I can.
As the next person, yeah, sure.
I'm not perfect. I'm not far from it. But after last series, the ratings were in the toilet because it wasn't her. People were just fed up of being preached to. You know, and that's where it went. I bought I've got no copies of her episodes at all. Because there's probably 3 or 4 on that final one. Yeah. Was the best. That was when I saw that final episode. We reviewed that.
It was good.
I thought that was the best episode
in 3 years. Yeah, in 3 years.
And she came across as being amazing. In that she should have been like that for 3 years, and she'd have been going for 4th season now.
But it was partly COVID that sort of like threw things up in the air. It wasn't just that, but
I'm hoping to keep him around as the master.
What's that actor called? He was really good, wasn't he? I can't remember his name.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't killed off, was he? He was actually injured outside when Jodie got hit by the energy.
Yeah, but he really crippled himself because apparently he went into her body, didn't he? And it took all his regeneration.
I think it's going to be a break from that character. I don't think we're going to see the Master again for at least 2 or 3 years. I don't think.
You know, I think it's now time to bring the Rani into the frame.
I've said that before. You know, everybody thought that Missy was the Rani, and of course,
the Time Meddler, the War Chief. I'd like another Time Lord. I'd even like Morbius somehow returns.
The brain of Morbius, yeah, that'd be quite cool.
I'd like to see some or Rassilon. I'd like to see. I think even though Sacha Dhawan.
That's it. That's the one. Something like that. Yeah.
But it's he was fantastic as the Master. But I think you may be right. it's time to bury the master for a couple of years.
Yeah,
and
bring
then
it back in 5 years'
back.
time. 5 years' time.
Bring him back in such a way that it's going to be impactful.
Yeah, I agree. So I suppose the other big news is a new Star Trek series, Starfleet Academy.
I'm not impressed.
No, nobody is. Everybody wants Titan or Legacy. They want a continuation of the Picard season 3.
Yeah,
everybody's saying it.
I went on Sidetrek's poll, and it was Star Trek Legacy.
Of course it was, yeah. Everybody loves it.
I pressed it. It was Star Trek Legacy, and it's straight away. I don't want Starfleet Academy. I don't want it. I don't want
this
it.
has been
mooted. Want a load of super good-looking young perfect
90210
with the older mentor when they fuck up and he's going, yes, but it's all part of life to fail, and you showed that you had some potential, and they're like walking away from it, and he's going, one day that person could become one of Starfleet's greatest.
Yeah,
you know, and you're like, oh, fuck off. Just why do they go off track? They finally got it. It's only took them 5 years.
They finally got it, and now they want to. I mean, they might still do it. They might still do the other series because they've finished Discovery, and this is going to be a continuation of the Discovery era as well. Apparently, it's going to be, which is that awful era, the 32nd century, which nobody likes because it's just too out there. It's just too.
Yeah.
You know.
When's it going to be set?
It's going to be set after Discovery. And they reckon that Tilly might be involved as on the actual as one of the lecturers at the academy.
So it's going to be set in the 31st century.
Yeah, apparently. And nobody wants that because everyone hates that era. Everyone's saying, well, either do it in the Lost Years, in between the movies and the Next Generation. That would be great. Imagine the Monster Maroons, that sort of era, that kind of like. I'd love to have seen it then.
Yeah,
not
but
not the 32nd century.
It's taken 5 years to get this right. 5 years, and then we got Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. First episode. I've not stopped watching that one episode.
Yeah, it's really good. I've seen it about 3 times.
It nailed the entire what's wrong with this planet. It nailed Star Trek, and it nailed that there is hope out there. It offered it all, from what it was like at the beginning to the end of that episode, and it gave us all at home to sit there and think this is what we're doing. This is what it's, yeah.
And
it offered hope, and I walked away from that episode thinking there is potential or hope. It gave me that, and it only took them 5 years to get to that. Yeah. And then we got 2 abysmal seasons of Picard, which we've done that. But then we
season
got
3.
Season 3. My God, man.
The best stuff in 20 years.
Best Star Trek in 20 years. And so, like, what I'm saying is, if you're like an executive at Paramount, it's all about money, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's not a charity. They want to make money.
Right. So you're going to say, like, you're selling me this. I'm the executive guy, and you're going, hey, I've got this great idea. We're going to set it in 32nd century, 31st, and it's going to be Tilly's going to be commandant, and we're going to get a load of screwed up teenagers or people that are 30 but pretend to be 20.
Oh, and there's going to be a big threat to the Federation again. Apparently, there's some big mean threat, and these cadets are going to have to learn the ropes and go out there and stop the menace. And they get signed up with a wise, like, first captain and first officer, and it's all about their potential, and it's 7 seasons of them dealing with the relationship and their issues, and you sat there like that, and then even when the enemy turns up, they're going to be politically screwed up. So I mean, yeah, and it's going to be like, right, what the fuck have I just sat through? Yeah.
Of this?
I know. Yeah.
No, I don't want 9-2 or 5-6-4 in space.
7-4-6-5-6. Yeah, exactly.
And you sell that to me, I'd have sacked you on the spot. I'd have sacked. And then say you came in again with another. I have an idea for a new Star Trek series that'll make us a shitload of money. We could sell toys. We might even get a couple of movies out. Cinema to milk even more money.
Star Trek Legacy.
And Star Trek Legacy, it's going to be set in the 25th century.
Yep.
We're going to send a ship into Gamma Quadrant, but the unknown parts of the Gamma Quadrant, we're going to have a bit of Dominion in it. A big conspiracy from Earth with this new malevolent force. And they're going to be going to planets every week and exploring. And
more sort of standalone. Yeah, cool.
But there'll be issues going on.
There'll be something going on, but there'll be standalone issues.
But it'll all be contained, you know. And it's going to be wonderful, and we'll make loads of money out of it. The fan base is going to fucking love it. Right, I'm going to give you the budget, go make it, and we're going to make billions. No. Nobody
going to do the Academy.
Like
No, I know.
Don't think like that anymore.
From what I understand, though, the Picard series, its ratings are going up. It's starting to get attention from people, which tells me that they may still do. I reckon it might be a sort of like a small. I don't know whether it's going to be like a full season of something continuing it on. But tomorrow is First Contact Day, April 5th. So
yes,
we might get some news tomorrow. Yeah. So when we release this, there might be some other news. So I don't know.
Vulcans, please don't come here. Don't come here tomorrow, please, Vulcans.
Oh, actually, it will be. Is it 40 years until they're due to arrive? It's 2063, isn't it? April 5th, 2063. I think.
Yeah, because Star Enterprise set in 21 summer, innit?
So that means that it's
Enterprise. I think Enterprise.
40 years. 40 years tomorrow is when they're.
I think Enterprise Enterprise about 70 years after First Contact.
I think it's 20.
Quite a while, isn't it? It's
2158, isn't it? 2150.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, what do you think about all this? I mean,
I don't want it being set anymore in the Discovery era. I think that era is done.
I want out.
I think if it had been set after Picard, I think that would have had a lot more interest because that era is the best era.
Yeah.
Or even before, in between the movies, the original movies, and the next gen. I'm worried that Star Trek is starting to become more as a focus for a younger demographic audience.
Well, yeah, but we've
got Prodigy, which is aimed for kids. We've got Lower Decks, which is like the Simpsons of Star Trek, and now we're going to have this Academy series. And I personally,
going off track totally.
No, but what I'm saying is that is it going to be
right?
For people like us, I know we've got the Picard thing, but I just hope that they're going to. That's what we want, and all people of all ages can enjoy it. So I don't know. I'm a bit worried about it.
And I watched Drumheads over that weekend.
Oh, Nora Satie.
Yeah, and that so fits in with
Gene Simmons was great in that.
Yeah, and fantastic. And there's this great scene at end where he's posing out the window with his Earl Grey light.
He's talking to Worf. I think.
And Worf says to him, "I'm really sorry. I believed everything I said." He said.
Diligence, Mr. Worf.
Diligence, Mr. Worf. He said, villains don't have twirly moustaches.
Yeah.
They're here, and we have to be constantly watching out for these bullshitters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have to call them out. He said, you didn't, she were convincing. But and he was right. That is how you deal with the moral dilemma. That
very intelligent way, very adult. But yeah, exactly. And that would go over the kids' heads. You see, that's what I'm saying. So are we going to get more simplified stories in the future then? If it's going to be like, Ensign Smith has had a fight with Ensign Jones because, they had a I don't know, they fancied Lieutenant Castile and
who comes from the planet Swingeron.
Riser. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
basically up for it,
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, it's being made. It's something new. But I think this is a step back in the wrong direction.
I think if they fuck this up, it could bury any return for Star Trek. Because if Star Trek gets sunk now, just as Star Trek is just now starting to get its wings again. It's only flying now. It's just got off the floor.
Yep.
It's on a runway and it's just managed to just leave the runway. We haven't got the golden years of it, but it's slowly on its way.
What if Kurtzman
could knock it down?
Kurtzman has suddenly built a brick wall in front of the plane, and it's getting higher and higher.
Is Metalis doing this?
No, Terry Metalis has got nothing to do with it. He wouldn't do this. You know what era he wants to do.
Yeah, but I thought he were going to take it all over.
Well, no, I thought that and you thought that, but apparently no, Kurtzman is still in charge.
Yeah,
I know. Well, we keep hearing these different contradictory things. It looks like he's still going to be in charge. He wants an Academy series. So there we go. Not happy.
But I don't want a bloody Academy series.
And I don't want an Academy series.
Are we old?
Yeah.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're parents. We've become our parents. You remember?
I get that. Yeah.
Turn that
terrible,
that crap.
Easy. Yeah. I'm like that. Yeah.
You know, maybe we've become that. I don't know. I'm trying to be as open-minded.
Well, I think you've got to. We don't know. It won't be. I don't think they're actually going to start filming it until next year. So there's plenty of time for it to course correct. And I still think that there's a chance that this new Picard thing will have an influence on future. And of course, Strange New Worlds is still going as well.
I watched first season of Lower Decks, and
it's all right.
A couple of episodes at San and
it's all right.
Lost interest.
Yeah, it's all right.
I've not seen Prodigy yet. I've not seen it.
I've seen the first few. It's all right, but it's not. I'm not into animated stuff. I like live action. I'm sorry.
I want live action.
Yeah, I want live action too. I'm sorry. I'm just not into cartoons at all.
For some reason, Clone Wars with Star Wars works amazingly.
It was really good. Yeah, that was one of the best.
It worked. That all 7-8 season arc. It works absolutely fantastic.
What about Rebels? Did you like Rebels as well?
Yeah, I did. I
didn't watch. I didn't watch that new one. That Bad Batch.
I saw
a few of those.
I got bored of it.
Yeah, I didn't get into it.
I've got about 10 episodes of it, and I just got bored. I thought I can't do with this anymore.
Now, a couple of quick things to talk about. First of all, Mandalorian. We've now seen a live-action Zeb, which I thought was quite interesting. They featured him.
Yes, we did.
And that was very well done last week. I did recognise the character. I have seen Rebels. I thought that was nice. Probably the last episode was the best one of season 3 so far of Mandalorian. And actually, episode 7 of Picard, I think that might have been its weakest for some reason. So it was weird, a bit of a turnaround last week.
What you thought?
Too much exposition on Picard. It was too much sort of the background about the changelings, how they change. I know it's necessary, but I think
really?
Also, yeah, and also I think I really want to get to Frontier Day now. I really want to see what's going on there now, and they keep going on about it. Mind you, Tuvok though, Tuvok was really cool seeing him back.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I thought that was a superb episode. That.
Yeah, I liked it, but it didn't quite. I don't know. It just didn't click quite as much as some of the other episodes. But I still liked it.
Do you think we could be at a stage to be moving at an amazing pace, and this week's episode they're going to start doing what you've just said?
I hope so.
Exposition.
Yeah.
So we're going to get another episode where it's all that, and then 9 and 10 they're going to.
Will be the big finale kind of thing.
I don't want to say this.
Go on.
Well, I thought episode 7 were good, but obviously, you know, I mean, we are at the crucial point now. The final episode, you know, where
it's going to go wrong. You mean? Are you worried it's all going to go wrong?
Yeah. Well, I'm worried about that because, like, we've watched stuff and it's been amazing, and then you get to that.
I'm confident it's going to knock the ball out.
I am.
I'm not worried now.
I hope so.
No, it's gone too far. It's done so much.
I'd like the Vadik character. I really want to know who that body is. I have a theory.
Par race.
Yeah, it's a par race. They need a body, and he's genetically.
I think it's a par race.
But his head.
Although it might have a Borg
his
connection.
His eyes. I could be wrong.
There might be a Borg connection as well, because of Picard's body has got nanoprobes in it, stuff like that, and of course 709 is a form of Borg, so they could do something with that. But I don't know. We just. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, this Forster, who she was talking to, it were talking about the founders. If the founders were nothing compared to this thing. He said, "Your people." I mean, basically said, your people mean nothing to me.
No, couldn't care less.
I could destroy you. So does he mean the Dominion founders or what? I did feel sorry. I mean, the experiments they did on them.
It was interesting, actually.
It was,
and that's why they look different. That's why they are different. They're not the same as the regular founders.
Yeah, so
which
they
is
won't
good.
take
That
them
was
back.
actually good. That was actually, I like that, actually, thinking about it. I need to see it again. I've only seen it once.
Yeah, but there must be more than 9 of them. There were 9 experimented on, but they've killed about 20 of them.
Yeah, but aren't the other changelings in Starfleet the modified changelings? They're not the regular changelings, are they?
No, but they've killed quite a few.
Yeah, but aren't they supposed to be everywhere and all like loads of ships, even 2? You know what I mean? There's obviously more than 9. So whether
there was 9 experimented on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they need to explain that.
I mean, I don't know how they breed. I mean, just creating a blood thing, and that's
Or
it.
maybe it's almost like its own form of like a disease where one of them's actually gone into the Great Link and infected them.
But they did say the lifespan was shortened.
Oh, how
They
long
did
was
in the experiment.
Yeah.
Apparently, they don't have to. You know, when Odo had that 16-hour time limit.
Yeah.
He had to regenerate, didn't he? Like become ooze or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said that these experiments, even though they can like become more like us, instead of just that their lifespan had been shortened because all those people are for centuries or something.
Yeah, they live for millennia. They live
that's what they've
years.
lost. That's been the price of it all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to give it another watch. But like I said, for some reason, The Mandalorian last week was better than the 2 episodes. Like I said, I don't like them both being on at the same time. I'd rather just get.
I have to say, the Mandalorian were fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
I have to say, it was equal to Picard this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was close this week. It was a bit more, whereas it's been the other way around for most of this last season for both shows at Picard. But I don't know. I mean, like I said,
do you think? I know we're moving. I know Grand Moff. What is it? Gideon.
Yeah, Moff Gideon. I reckon he'll be back next week. I
reckon he works for Admiral Thrawn, Gideon.
I do too, because there's already an Imperial thing, and the pirates, I think, were also working with the Imperials somehow.
Do you think she... sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, and I think that it's all going to suddenly really kick off very soon. It's going to be mad. There's 3 more episodes to go, and I think if we don't see... We'll see Gideon, but whether we see Thrawn as well. But I think...
we are going to see him, apparently.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him. I can't wait.
Because Ahsoka... is turning up. I assume she's going to be in the episode before the final or in the final.
Yeah, I hope so. Now, we have to wrap things up because Zoom's nearly timing us out. But looking forward to it. Some great stuff. So let's just go into our focus of the week because this is a movie I want to check out with you. So we'll be right back.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi
Focus of the Week.
Right, this week we are reviewing a film from 1978. It is a British-produced American thriller film, which I didn't know, in which a reporter discovers that a supposed Mars landing by a crewed mission to the planet has been faked by a conspiracy involving the government. And that is, of course, Capricorn 1. It's a film which it's another one of those films that I've always liked, but I can't remember the first time I watched it. It features Elliot Gould, James Brolin, Brenda Vaccaro, et al. O.J. Simpson as well. It's interesting.
Karen Black.
Karen Black. Oh, yeah, Karen Black. So let me ask you, Martin, where did you first come across Capricorn 1?
I saw it at the cinema.
Oh, you saw it at the cinema? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So you mean when it was actually out in 1978?
Yeah, I did. I went with my dad, yeah.
Oh, okay. What did you think about it?
I enjoyed it. I just accepted it back then. It was a big hit with Capricorn 1,
Was it a big hit? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, there was a lot of advertising. I remember there were a lot of advertising. When I went to see it, it was on a Thursday. I remember we saw it got cinema on a Thursday for some reason.
Right.
They were queuing up outside because those were days when you had to queue to get
I
in.
remember that. Yeah, I remember that when I watched Star Trek: The Motion Picture in 1979.
Yeah.
And there was a big queue for that as well. I forgot about the queuing outside.
Close Encounters. All them type of
late
films,
70s. Yeah, late 70s era. That's right. But I mean, I don't know. Like, the first time I saw it, it was one of those things that I just always liked. First of all, Telly Savalas is in it as this grumpy plane pilot person who I think does crop dusting or something. and he gets involved with the Elliot Gould character. He was hilarious.
Fantastic actor.
Yeah. I mean, I used to like
Love
Kojak
all
and
his
stuff.
films.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what was really clever about it was, in some ways, when they're like stranded in the desert, and they go 3 separate directions because they know that they're being tracked down, and they're going to be found if they're not careful. And they each have like a small little rocket to alert the others that have been caught. Yeah. And as it goes along, they get whittled down, and of course they're dehydrated. They can't. And it was just I don't know. I just like the fact that technically it's not a science fiction movie, but it's obviously it has space elements, which is why I wanted to include this. But I just thought it was just a very, very clever thing where you can see how, a lot of people say, and I don't believe it, that the moon landings were fake. Some people do think that the moon landings in 1969 weren't real, and they were just done on a soundstage. I think this must be where this idea for this film came along, to save the American taxpayer
because
millions of dollars.
I think there was a book out in the 70s that somebody wrote a book in the. I've never read the book. I know it exists. I've seen the documentary, but about how the moon landings were fakes. I think that's when the book came out. Right. Somebody wrote a book about it, calling it out. But then, because there were no internet, most people just dismissed it. But of course, you got believers. I mean, it's like flat earthers and all that in it.
Yeah, you're always going to get that element as an believing that sort of thing.
Yeah, but back then, people like that were sort of more isolated because there was no broadband, no internet.
Exactly. It's interesting how we're all sort of like, when you look at things now compared to how you used to look at them, going back to like queuing up for the cinema, how your perspective of a film is different based on the time that you watched it. I mean, this film, of course, is an older film, but I still think personally it stands up very well. It's just a very riveting thriller. And, it's a film that I can go back to like once a year or once every couple of years.
Oh yeah,
and still enjoy it. And that only certain films do that. And that's
I watched it over Christmas. I actually watched it over Christmas.
I watched it a couple of weeks ago actually. We started talking about it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really, really good.
And I put it on my channel, and it's a marvelous film. Look, I know there's plot holes galore in it because, like, well. For them to, I mean, they went to Mars in the Apollo rocket with the moon landing. You just wouldn't have done it.
No,
because it took them a year to get there, so the ship would have been different. And I mean, you can discount all that, but if you don't question it too much, what it's like, they'd have to be out in that desert installation for nearly a year and a half at least.
That's right. It was a long period, wasn't it? And they were like,
it's not 3 months.
No,
nearly 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And what were amazing about that film was when it's how it starts. It's how cold and ruthless these dark forces are in the background, like with the journalist when he goes round to that apartment.
Yeah.
And that person, because that's one of the NASA workers said, we're getting transmissions, but they're not coming from space. They're coming.
Looks like it's a lot nearer. It's like and he works it out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he works it out. He disappears. He never exists. They got that woman into his flat.
Yeah.
Then there was his car crash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
And these people are ruthless. But I mean, the casting in this was
phenomenal.
You just don't get that caliber of that anymore. I mean, what a cast.
Yeah.
And Elliot Gould, I've always thought, anything that guy, is he still alive?
I think he is. He was in a very good episode of 80s Twilight Zone.
Oh, okay.
The Misfortune Cookie.
Right,
and it's only short. It's well worth a watch with him. But I like Elliot Gould as well. I think it's great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
Anything that guy were in was just good. He always played that character you could relate to. He was like the normal guy dealing with
down to earth kind of thing with a bad situation.
With sarcastic humour.
Yeah.
And he was good. And he was relentless in his giving up. I like the guy who was. You remember when they got flown out to that studio in the desert?
Yeah.
And they all sat in that room. In the 70s, they always had clinical sex. Like, there was something about sex in the background. There were no feeling to any of it, the government ones. Like that film, the Andromeda Strain.
Oh, yeah.
You know, them like clinical sets.
Yes.
It's 70. They were in that room, it were all white, and they had a table and like them lights in the ceiling. And he walked in and said, look, you know, bullshitting on about how he's good friends with him and that. And he said, look, you're not going because we screwed up on some life support system. And basically, we want you to sit out here for nearly 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And
go along
pretend
with
you're
it.
on a mission.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you won't be coming back because you're going to have an accident in space. That's it. There's no way they would have let them out of there.
Oh, no, this is interesting because I thought that the accident was a genuine mistake. When the ship is coming back...
It was the life support system. They gave some company for the life support system.
Oh.
And they gone a bit cheap on it. They fiddled money and gone cheap. But that's what he said. And so they died in space 3 weeks later.
Oh, I didn't. Do you know, I never picked up on that. Picked up on that.
Yeah, again, money have been back to send them.
But of course, they're gonna. I mean, I went with the assumption that they would get sort of like a big backhander, and they'll just have to, obviously, always pretend that they actually went to Mars. I never thought of the fact that they were going to be killed off at something to silence them in case the actual information got leaked and came out. Well, that's quite interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said, but they had no intention of letting them go. Because it was the president was behind all this as well. This went right up. There were the president, not everybody, but there were that senator who were on president's case at the beginning. They gave him them binoculars. He were on some commission who were challenging president, and they were like it were all to do with political party. So they had to look good in front of the world that they can get there.
Yeah,
there were a lot of politics, but the president were up. And Josh Brolin, is it Josh Brolin? It was.
Oh,
no,
I
that's his son. That's his son.
Oh, okay.
Because the guy that played Thanos is that actor's son.
Oh, okay.
That's his son. Yeah. So I forgot his name. Is it Josh Brolin or?
James Brolin.
James Brolin, great actor. Yeah. He nearly became James Bond as well.
Did he?
Yeah, before Roger Moore. Yeah, they tested him. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting.